Hello, I've been asked to speak with you today about a particular assessment that is available to us as educators to help in determining a child's placement within special education. The assessment that I chose was the Woodcock-Johnson 4th edition. The 4th edition is a relatively new edition. It was updated in 2014. The purpose of this update was to reevaluate several of the questions that were available in each of the batteries, and these have been updated to better serve the needs of educators. Also, as part of this update, they added a test of oral language as a separate battery. The From the research that I've done, the company decided to do this because oral language has been determined to be a significant predictor of future academic success. And so they wanted to make sure that we as educators had the ability to test for oral language. The Woodcock-Johnson 4th edition is broken into three separate batteries. First is the test of achievement, second is the test of cognitive abilities, and the third is the new one, the test of oral language. What makes this particular assessment unique is that each of these batteries can stand alone as an independent assessment, or they can be used in conjunction in any combination, or in all three to determine a much better overall impression of a student's strengths or weaknesses. First, the test of achievement is consists of 20 tests. 11 of these are standard and 9 are extended. One of the things that was put in place with the update is that there is a new, simpler scoring system for this particular battery to determine a strength or a weakness of the student. The proctor only needs to administer sections 1 through 6 of the standard test to get a clear understanding of what a particular student's strengths or weaknesses are. At this point, the proctor can continue with the other 5 standard tests or can switch over to one of the specific or multiple extended tests to better explore a specific strength or weakness in that student. This particular battery has 3 forms, forms A, B, and C. Forms A and B are close enough that they are actually interchangeable. There is no specific usage pattern for either one. It is simply suggested that if a third party were to test to get a better understanding of clearer reading, that particular proctor use section C, or form C, excuse me. And this is because they want to make sure that the student is not overexposed to the information in either form A or B, in that exposure may cause a skewing of the data received from these tests. The test of cognitive ability is similar in that it has 18 tests. 10 of these are standard and 8 are extended. The proctor must conduct all 10 of the standard tests to get a clear understanding of a student's weaknesses or strengths, and then at that point can use one of the 8 extended tests to further explore a particular strength or weakness within a student. There are a wide range of clusters that are addressed in this particular battery. Among these are general intellectual abilities, short-term memory, and fluid reasoning of the student. The last battery, is, like I said, was the newest one, the test for oral language. It provides a more complete assessment of reading, writing, and dyslexia than any of the previous tests put out by Woodcock-Johnson. It has 12 tests, all of which are standard, which means the proctor must conduct all 12 tests to get a true assessment of a strength or a weakness within the student. Different areas that this particular assessment address are phonic coding, vocabulary, and oral language fluency. What makes this particular battery interesting is that there is also a Spanish version that can also address the oral language fluency within Spanish, with a Spanish-speaking student, if that is needed. Why use the Woodcock-Johnson 4th edition? First of all, it allows for one-on-one testing. This gives the student who is being tested the least probability of becoming distracted by other students in the room or becoming bored when having to wait on another student during a particular section of a test. It is not grade or age specific. The research that I've done about this test, the company is very proud to say that you can test anyone from the age of 2 to 90 plus and determine a pretty accurate fitting of where they fit on the scale. This is important because we don't have to make sure we are grabbing a particular test because of a student's age or grade level abilities. In fact, this actually assists students who are operating at a lower ability because they do not become frustrated as easily. This test basically lays out what their ability is for the instructor. This test only takes about 90 minutes, which means it can be conducted in one day. And grading is relatively easy. It just consists of checking a 1 or a 0. If at any point during any section of any of the tests, a student receives 6 zeros in a row, then that test is ended and the proctor is able to grade the test. The test can be graded on site and feedback can be given almost immediately. The importance of data that comes from this is that you want the data to provide an accurate picture of what the student's abilities are. This way, this ensures that the student receives appropriate placement within a special education program. This helps to make sure that the student has the best path of growth, and it also helps to make sure that your teammate, your fellow teacher, does not receive a student that he or she is not truly qualified and ready to teach, because it may fall outside of his or her particular area of expertise. Some additional resources, if you want some more information about this. This hmhco.com is the distributing company's home email or home web address. They have a white paper that discusses many of the changes that have been brought about by this edition. This YouTube channel describes is presented by a teacher who does an assessment on a quote unquote student, and you can see how easy it is to conduct this particular series of tests. And then this wjscore.com provides you with a technical manual in a PDF format. So thank you very much for listening to me. These are my references. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Good afternoon.